My name's Jennifer. I'm with MIG consultant team. This is just a kind of a short overview of the master plan process, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how this could actually be constructed as it's shown today, which is still conceptual. So we've been really strong in the public process. We have a website, if anyone is not aware. It's northglenncivicCenter.org. And we've been providing project updates. We have all the presentation boards that you're seeing today online. We also have been published in the Northglenn Connection. There's an article about the master plan process, and we've been tied into the social media for the city of Northglenn. We also have the comment cards that have been passed around, and it's really important that you share your input so we can compile all the comments and really use this feedback to make revisions to this plan. So right now in the process, we are just refining our master plan concept. So what you see today will change, especially based on the input, but we still have to do a funding and financial strategy, and that fiscal analysis is really going to help determine what is going to make it into the draft master plan. And so the draft master plan will still be, it'll be available for comment as well, so you'll be able to see it. And then it'll hopefully be adopted as a final master plan in January, February. And so today, the site plan consists of the Memorial Parkway, which is really going after the E.B. Raines Memorial and the Veterans Memorial. And we're making like a promenade, a formal park, really great civic space with the City Hall to the north. The terminating element is the theater, and this prime location would be the rec center and senior center. The yellow areas are residential, and the orange is mixed use, the red is retail, the blue is office. And we have this is probably a better perspective to see the plan. So, just to orient you, this is I-25, the Ramada, E.B. Raines Park. So we're suggesting to have potentially a retail area here, which can kind of feed after the Webster Promenade, and a festival street along this major street that terminates into the parkway. The City Hall would be on the corner. Behind the City Hall would potentially be a parking structure with office on both sides and residential along the parkway. Potentially a hotel in the back. Like I said, the theater, mixed use. This area is potentially, there's a high demand to have an expansion on the senior center. So we're suggesting maybe the first floor of that could be the senior center, and then potentially above could be active living. It really depends on what the market would be driving, but the rec center would be located here. So anything you see in purple are the civic uses. The other could potentially change, and it really depends on the market, but this is what we're suggesting right now. So here is a plan in perspective. This is conceptually, just how it could look and feel. It's just a better way to look at the plan than colored boxes. And here's how we can build it. So when we were really coming up with the plan, we're working with city staff, city council, the public, getting some input at intercept events, and kind of determining what would be best on the site. But what's really important is to be resourceful and to allow the city buildings to still function. And so looking at where the existing rec center is, where you are today, it's located right there, and the existing City Hall is right here. So we wanted to make sure we plan new construction without impacting those buildings. And so we had to think about it in phasing. And so phase one would really be building the rec center, because the portion of the rec center is actually on where we're proposing City Hall to go. And so we would construct the rec center, the parkway, the theater, and then be able to demolish the rec center while the City Hall is still working. So then we'd be able to start building the City Hall along with other uses, office, residential, the festival street. And while that is under construction, it's really important to be able to park, to go use the rec center, the theater, the City Hall. And so we wanted to make sure we kept the rec center parking so you can walk to the rec center. And then once the new city hall is constructed, you can demolish the existing city hall and be able to construct in that location. And so at this point, which we're calling phase 3, would be the construction of the future senior center residential area. And at this point, the capacity of Community Center Drive would require having 2 lanes in both directions, so there would have to be significant improvements to just widen that to handle the additional people and uses. And while that's under construction, again, we wanted to think about parking for those open municipal uses, the city hall, the rec center, the theater. And then in phase 4, we're able, since this would actually provide parking for the rec center once this construction is complete, you can actually start constructing in the area where the parking lot is. And also we're anticipating you would have to build a parking structure because the demand would be so high. So that would be phase 4. And then phase 5 is really additional uses, additional development. Right now we're saying retail, hotel, mixed use. It would really depend on the financial analysis that'll be done, and it'll also depend on the market demand. And so thinking about the complexity and the timing, these uses are probably the furthest out at this point. And then this is the full build out. So thinking about parking, just want to stress that today there's 406 spaces, and what we're proposing is almost 1,000 more, plus the on-street parking. And so here is a perspective of the plan. Again, the Memorial Parkway is in the middle, terminating on the theater. The Festival Street links the retail area and the area to the north along to the parkway, right adjacent to the City Hall. And then the rec center is on that corner with a great view of the park and a great view to the parkway.
Good evening and welcome tonight. This is the City of Northglenn's open house for the Civic Campus master planning process. Tonight we've had a great experience of having people come in and provide their feedback and participate in many different ways. We're really excited about the turnout that we had tonight, and a little bit about the project is that we have a program looking at the 21 acres that the rec center and the city hall sits on, and trying to imagine a new vision for redeveloping the site and trying to create a new identity for the community that really can be a sort of focal point or heart of the city concept is really what we're here tonight to try to talk about and identify with and connect with the community. So far what we've done with this evening is we've provided a little bit of history, a little bit of context and vision as part of what we want to do, and then as the other part of this process, we've kind of gone through and talked about how we might build it. And then the last phase of this process has been, which is also very exciting, is getting feedback from folks in many different mediums. We've had a big map where people have been able to comment about their likes and dislikes, concerns and comments, as well as we've had an interactive process where we've had staff engage individuals at different stages of this process in seeking their feedback and input, as well as a comment card, which we're going to incorporate into the overall context of the project. Lastly, what we're going to do with this exercise is provide the feedback to the City Council and then move forward with our final phase of the project, which will be a more detailed analysis of the market realities as well as an implementation plan that will hopefully bring this forward into fruition. So once again, thank you so much. This has been a really exciting time tonight, and we hope that you can learn some more about this at northglenciviccenter.org.